The presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Kachikwu, has blamed the inefficacy in the fight against insecurity and poor funding of the military sector. He made this known in a press conference with journalists in Abuja. He said,
"The fight against insecurity. President Jonathan used 100 billion naira annually for internal security. 100 billion naira annually. Buhari in the last 7 years is still operating 100 billion naira annually. When Jonathan was there operating 100 billion naira, what was the price of diesel? What's the price of diesel today? Diesel is a key component of all the machinery they use in the field there. That 100 billion naira, they barely get 50 to 60% of that money. They are fighting a war. Let me tell you how this affects the war. Right? The Kaduna train bombing. Let's assume that the generals in the field have said that we need to have 10 sorties a day to monitor this train, to see what's going on there. Because they don't have enough funding for operations, they will reduce it to 2 or 3 a day. The terrorists know that they have reduced this window, that in every 3-4 hours these people will not pass. That's when they now use and do whatever they are doing. So we need to fund these people. It's not enough to say, I have bought equipment and they don't have money to operate the equipment. Or you buy machines and the men in the field, they are not being fed. Or you are using suppliers' credit to feed our men and women in the theater of war. Our troops are struggling because of their commitment, because of their patriotism to Nigeria. You hardly hear these people say this, voice it out. But every now and then we see a video telling you the reality of their welfare.
While reacting to the CBN's decision to redesign the Naira, Kachikwu said,
"Mothers and fathers in the rural areas are the people who trade on a daily basis. They are those people who choose to put their money tied in their wrapper. We know this. They need that money to trade on a daily basis, and they cannot afford to pay those charges that the banks require of them. So they keep their money with them, and they usually trade on a daily basis. Those people, we have not been able to capture them up to bring them in to the banking sector. That's the challenge. So anyone pushing out this notion that it's people who have stored this money, it's a big lie. Unless you have not seen what 20 million naira looks like, 50 million naira, 100 million naira, 1 billion naira. How many houses do you require to store that kind of money? How many wells do you need to dig? Policies, what happens is that it further erodes the value of the naira because people start speculating. What's your reason for doing this? There are those who are saying that that the government is after Bola Tinubu, they want to get his money. How much did Asiwaju keep in a well somewhere? We cannot keep on giving people reason to start making rumors or insinuating all sorts of things about people which are not true. The government needs to stop this.
Responding to questions about the Minister of Finance, Budget and Planning's lack of knowledge of the Central Bank of Nigeria's decision, he said,
"It further speaks to the confusion that goes on daily in the Buhari administration. The fact that the Minister of Finance, who is a key part of the Nigerian economy, who superintends over the economy, only found out through the media that we resign our naira, says a lot about our country, about our government. It says a lot about the fact that in a government, something that concerns finance, that the Minister of Finance did not sit down in a meeting to be briefed. Now, she might not have a supervisory role over the CBN governor, but she's a key part of the economy. So you need, by the time you take a decision or you're considering doing that, you need to sit down with her and say, this is what we are considering. She might be in a position, like she said, to tell you that it's ill-timed. At a time like this, it's extremely ill-timed. How can you have an issue where your Minister of Finance says, I was not aware of this policy, and next thing you issue a statement on Sunday saying, I approved it? That does not address the issue. She's not aware. You should call them into a meeting to show that, we made a mistake, we missed it here, but this is what we are doing. And then let us say this is her advice, this is why she made this advice. Get the input of other people.
Further reacting to the policies and factors affecting the Nigerian naira, he said,
before this, the naira was doing 788 to the dollar. Today, it's over 800 in some places. Here in Lagos, some places, they're saying 1,000 naira. Because people are now speculating. Every day, Nigerians are leaving this country in droves. As they leave Nigeria, they are selling their property, they are buying forex. Not so. We need to look at all the factors affecting our naira. But if these people are not in touch with reality, what's going on in Nigeria, they'll keep on making wrong-headed policies. They keep on making mistakes. In a country like Nigeria, we've been speaking for 7 years about diversifying our economy, about strengthening the naira. I ask you, members of the press, to challenge these governments, to challenge the banks, to tell them how many new businesses did the banks support to export this year. If you want to strengthen the naira, you have to look at your balance of trade. Not so. You have to export more than you import. Not so. They should tell the banks to tell us how many people they funded to export. How many small businesses the last 10 months, last 1 year, last 2 years, last 3 years, in the last 5 years, throughout the lifetime of this administration. That will show you what is really going on in Nigeria.
Kachikwu, responding to concerns and inflation, stressed that government policies are one of the drivers of inflation in Nigeria.
Inflation begins at our ports in Nigeria. Imagine the young lady who is bringing in something to sell to trade. You tell her that a 20-foot container minimum 4 to 5 million naira. Even if the value of what she has there is about $2,000. You don't care. That's a flat rate. 40 foot, 7 to 9 million naira. The trader has to now look at the cost of that container, the cost of cleaning that container, factor it into what she's brought in. Now, diesel is 900 naira. A trailer that used to come from Lagos to Abuja, that was at one point 120,000 naira, went to 250, 300,000, 400,000 naira. That trailer now is about 1.5 million naira. Factor it into the cost of your business and tell me why you won't have inflation in Nigeria. Cuts across board for every single business. So this government is not looking at what causes that inflation, the drivers of inflation. They keep on doing the wrong things. They've destroyed the oil sector. Now they're trying to raise revenue from taxes, the ports and every single thing. You cannot be taking what you're not giving. That's what this government keeps on doing. You cannot keep on taking what you are not giving. They are destroying thousands of businesses on a daily basis. And the worst thing, that for every business you destroy, there's a job that is lost.